Sleep deprivation is a serious problem. We don't perform to the best of our abilities, and we become more likely to cause accidents, some of which are deadly. Now, most of us struggle with sleep deprivation. That's why I'm here, to help you master the art of sleeping. To do this, we need to talk about a couple topics first. Topics including what's affecting your sleep, the consequences of sleep deprivation, and how sleep deprivation affects your cognitive and physical performance. First, let's talk about what's affecting your sleep. A study called Effects of Sleep Deprivation on Cognitive and Physical Performance in University Students by Reed Dawson and his partners studied the habits of college students. They found out that approximately 71% of students did not get the recommended 8 hours of sleep. Now, they also found out that the students were participating in habits that were very harmful to their sleep cycle and caused them to stay awake at night, which reduced the quality of their sleep. Now, those habits include exercising, eating, drinking alcohol, using nicotine or caffeine before bedtime. You see, the problem with exercising and eating before bedtime is that your body becomes more active. Now, this hurts your sleeping because your body usually tends to wind down as you get closer to your bedtime, and your heart rate slows down, your stomach becomes less active, and your body also tends to release a chemical called adenosine. Now, when you drink caffeinated drinks, the caffeine blocks adenosine, and then adenosine can't bind to the receptors, making you more alert. Now, most of you will probably say, I don't need sleep, or sleep is for the weak. Now, let me tell you how Mortez Tahari and his partners found out that sleep does in fact affect your athletic performance in a study called The Effects of Sleep Deprivation on Choice Reaction Time and Anaerobic Power of College Students. Now, those participants in the study had no relatives with sleep deprivation problems or sleep disorders, and the participants themselves were non-smokers and were not on any sort of medication. The participants were required to keep a sleeping journal and were required to have a three-day sleep-wake schedule in order to participate in the study. When they came to the lab, they had screens set about eye level, and they were instructed to put their hands on handlebars and were taught to react and move the handlebars as fast as possible when they noticed changes on the screen. The study concluded that the students that were sleep deprived had significantly lower reaction times than other students that were not sleep deprived. Now, if you're still not convinced, then let me tell you about a study done on medical students. Now, all of us know that medical students are busy going around doing work in the clinic, and so they don't really have time to get a full night's sleep. And that's why Isabel Olmos and her partner studied medical students in a study called Night Shifts, Sleep Deprivation, and Attention Performance in Medical Students. Now, the study only accepted medical students that had night shifts, but they also included students that did not have night shifts as a control group. Now, they were given a test to determine attention and concentration performance. The test must be done rapidly and precisely. That's why it was really hard. The template contained 14 lines, and you had a very short amount of time to read the questions and answer them. The tests were given out from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the latest, and were given out 3 times during the semester. Now, fun fact, the test was actually validated in the 70s by German-speaking countries. Now, they concluded that sleep deprivation did impact the students' attention performance and general health. Now, they also noticed that sleep deprivation increased the students' risk of accidents, of having accidents, and this is really a big deal because they're medical students and they're in the clinic and they could really get in a lot of trouble. Now, the U.S. Coordination Council of Graduate Medical Education caught on to this, and so they put limitations down. For example, the students were only allowed to have 80 hours a week to work, and they were only allowed to work for 20 hours continuously. Now, this was still not enough, and many students today, many medical students, still are affected by sleep deprivation, and there's really nothing you can do. And I know many people will be, many people including you, will be caught in a similar situation. And what you have to do is you have to prioritize work and sleeping. You don't have to throw entertainment out the window. I'm very sorry. It's an unfortunate situation, but luckily it will pass and you'll get to see better days. Now, there's a tool that we all use. This tool is very powerful and many misuse it, including myself. That tool being your phone. Now, you see, a study called Causes and Consequences of Sleepiness Among College Students by Ronald Chevron and his partners noted that light does affect your sleep, and we're always surrounded by unnatural light, such as computers, phones, and any light bulbs or anything that could give off light in your house. Now, you might not know this, but your brain releases another chemical called melatonin. You see, melatonin is a natural sleeping hormone that calms you down. But when you use such technology as in phones and other technological devices like video games, the melatonin gets suppressed and you become more alert. And you'll start having irregular sleeping schedules. Now, I'm guilty of this too, but I found out that there are many apps you could use and download on your phone to limit the exposure of blue light. Now, if you have an Apple product, those apps are already installed on your phone, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you want to go to the next step, then I would recommend buying products that would control the lighting in your room automatically. Such products include Alexa and Google Home, and you could set these products to change your lighting at a set time. If you want to go even further than that, then you can buy smart bulbs. And what those do is that you can have different colors instead of just your normal white or yellow. And those colors could remind you to go to sleep, or could even set the mood. It becomes really easy to go to sleep. Now, some of you might be asking, well, you're talking about going to sleep and setting the mood. Well, when should you go to sleep? Well, the answer to that really depends on you. And to figure out when and how much sleep you should get, I would personally recommend going home on your off days and going to sleep without an alarm. Now, do this for a couple days and keep track of how long you're sleeping for. And average out those numbers and you should get your answer. Now, scientists usually recommend you get 8 hours of sleep, and that's what I would recommend also. Now, okay, and this will help you in school because it will affect your learning and memory in school, because sleep deprivation affects those, and you're also less likely to cause accidents. You see, the study I mentioned found out that 66% of people feel drowsy when they're behind the wheel, and 16% of people actually falling asleep while driving. Now, these kind of accidents are very deadly, and you're not the only one getting hurt in the process. So please, I urge you to pull over and take a quick nap. It's really not worth it. Now that you know the consequences, I heavily encourage you to sleep more and make sure that you're getting enough sleep, because you don't really perform to the best of your ability. And if you're a student staying up at night, well, please go to sleep, because you won't be retaining any of the information anyways. Hopefully you have a better idea of the consequences of sleep deprivation, and have a great day.